both characters take, both lead characters specifically. Wondering if you guys, you've obviously been acting for years. Perhaps this is, the easiest thing to take, shoot out of sequence and have that arc there. Is there something? Do you still plot everything out? What trick do you use to make that so seamless?
I think this was a rare experience for me because we pretty much shot in sequence.
Oh, really?
We were at Gonzaga University, and so it was one location. And usually, location is very much a factor. Location availability, and that's how. So this was a rare treat to be able to take those journeys in sequence. That journey in sequence.
Well, the first scene we shot was the one on the park bench behind the tree. That was the first day of shooting. The first scene. Yeah. So it was kind of in sequence, but.
You can see the chemistry between them.
The thing is, I never had a woman hold my mic before. No, the thing was that it's in the script. It's the art. The story is so beautiful. I mean, now we were mentioning earlier before that when we both got Vera came in a couple days before shooting, and we never really even read the script together. We never had a table reading or anything. And I asked her, "Well, you want to go over the script at all?" She said, "No, let's just execute." So basically, we really didn't know. I mean, I knew Vera. That was a fan of hers. But we didn't know each other, and the first scene we showed up the next day. That was Sunday. The next day we shot that scene, and we began to discover ourselves within the context of this beautiful script, and so that's basically what happened. We shot the movie in 20 days, so it wasn't a lot of.
Brilliant.
Actually, it was more like 17, and then just to be technical, but no.
Our stuff is first 17 years.
Yeah, exactly. So, but I think it really served the film because, there was no real, sharp dividing line between rehearsal and take. We just, we kind of got it up and running, and then we just started shooting. And both Vera and Andy gave us so much wonderful material to work with, and then it was all there. So it was a pleasure.
And I'm wondering, I jumped the gun in with a question here, but we have this whole panel of people who I don't know who everyone is up here. So I would love to actually just go down the line. Maybe we'll start with you, Sig, and introduce yourself and who you are and what your involvement with the film was.
Okay, I'll take this mic. There you go. I know I don't want to take Andy's mic because that would be a problem. Hi, my name is Sig Lebowitz, and I'm one of the producers of the film, and it was just a treat to work with everybody up here on stage.
I'm Glenn German. I co-wrote the film with Adam and was a producer as well.
Adam Rogers, co-writer, director.
Andy Garcia, actor, producer, and also want to acknowledge Mr. Oro Pedraza, who's in the audience in the back there, who's one of the producers on the film.
I'm Vera Farmiga. I play Edith, and I'm also the real-life sister to the girl who played my daughter, Thaisa Farmiga.
My name is Kenny Parks Jr., and I played the music major.
Hello, my name is Saxon Johnson, and I was the late for class kid.
Hi, I'm Daniela Garcia Laredo, and I played Daphne, and I'm George's real-life daughter. I'm Brianna Henry, and I played Emma, the acting student.
I'm Stephen Borello, and I played Travis, the stoner boyfriend.
And also, they couldn't be here, but we really wanted to thank Thaisa Farmiga, who was amazing as Vera's daughter, and Spencer LaFranco, who's a fabulous young actor who played Andy's son. And also, they couldn't be here, but Tom Skerritt, Seattle's own, wrote a text. He really wanted to be here. He sent his best to everybody.
Let's see, is Tony became Tony played the irate man.
Stay away from him.
In real life, he is not irate.
And also Peter Riegert, who played, if you saw him, he was the radio disc jockey professor. So there you go.
Now, I've got one more question because this was on my mind. Because the stoner boyfriend is here, what I've come to know as the Tao of Ballsack. Was that improvised? Is that in the script?
That's there. They wrote that.
They wrote that. That was not something you just threw out on the set.
No. The ball sack was fully constructed.
All right. Glenn, tell us about the ball sack.
can't really speak to the ball sack per se, but I will say this. We once heard that I think it was Alexander Payne said, in every script, as a writer, you should keep 5% for yourself. So it doesn't matter whether it falls flat, whether anybody gets it, whether anybody cares, but there's just that 5% that you're just like, you're riffing in your office and you're laughing and you're just like, that will never make it in the script. And it's like, well, let's just put it in the script. That's where it came from.
By the way, is there anyone from South Dakota here tonight? I apologize.
Brilliant. Want to open it up to the audience out here? Are there questions you guys have? All the way on the aisle. Yes.
I have a question for Andy. Did you have a favorite scene that you guys played in the movie?
The question for Andy is, what was your favorite scene that was played in the film? We ask the tough questions.
To me, it was just one long, extended, sublime experience. When you make an independent film, nobody's looking over your shoulder. It's one of the beauties of it. There's no notes from the studio. Nobody cares. Nobody cares that you're making the movie. Nobody wants to see your movie. We just do it because we fall in love with it. And I had the great fortune of getting this script and falling in love with it and getting this opportunity to play this character who's a complete goofball and who falls in the wake, in the vortex of Vera Farmiga and her character. So that was the great thing for me. Every scene was just kind of following Vera's energy, and it's like playing with, like we were talking about the metaphor of play, So when you have someone like Vera to play with, every scene is oh, this is my favorite scene today, and oh no, this is my favorite scene, So that's the way it is.
Another question? Yeah, right here.
Do you have any real phobias?
The
Me?
question, does he have any real phobias?
Huh? No, I don't think so.
Other question? Yep, all the way toward the back.
This question is for Adam. When you wrote the script, that unresolved ending, that's kind of brave, was that in the first draft, or did you sort of get down the road with some and decide that you were just going to leave it like that? Sort of dangling with the wind.
Sure.
What? Oh,
It's the unifying theme. I'm seeing it all come together. No, that's a great question. And to be very honest, that ending was from the very beginning. And, that was it. Because we just knew that was real life. I mean, if we try to have them go together, it becomes a different movie. Maybe just a different movie. And we had any number of people along the way, mostly studio executives, tell us, do you think maybe they could be divorced, or maybe they could get together at the end, and all these kinds of things. But
that's the sequel.
That's right. Parents' Weekend. You guys are up for it. No, but no, that ending was always there, and we just had to work to it. And Glenn and I wrote the script in a way we've written like 12 scripts together. But for this one, we did it a little bit differently. We did not outline. We did not plot it all out ahead of time. We figured for this to feel spontaneous, we had to kind of just see where it went. So the first thing we did was go to USC to take a college tour. And the net result of that was we felt really old. But
that kiss at the end of the day was great.
We knew that was the end. So we tried. There were like 73 versions of this script, and some just led into cul-de-sacs, and we had to turn around and come back, and others, were ridiculous. But we eventually sort of got to this point. And then Andy and Vera brought so much. Everyone, there was wonderful improvisation, throughout the shooting, and some of the best lines were not ours. Sad to say.
Another question right on the side there.
Yeah, I don't know if this question is for the producers or for Vera, but Departed, Up in the Air, this movie, you're always with someone else, but in the movie, your love interest in the movie is never your actual boyfriend or husband. Was she selected for this?
Are you coming out to her?
The question is,
I think you're naming the highest budget films. If you see some of the more indies, I think they'll disprove that theory. But was I hired for my?
Categorically, no. There you go. But it's an interesting thought. Now that you bring it up.
But even in the other films that you haven't mentioned, I think I do chase the theme of awakening. I do. Because you can say that for the film Higher Ground that I directed, in different ways. I do think that if I look back and thematically judge it, I think it is female characters that don't settle for complacency.
Another
Sometimes
question.
that means leaving your man.
Question right there in the middle. Yes.
Could you tell us why the homage to the Parapet Chabot?
It was going to be Jaws, but it was unaffordable, so we went.
This is one of the terrible burdens of being both a writer and a producer. We wrote Jules and Jim in that scene, but the Truffaut estate wasn't quite as magnanimous as the Demy estate. It was just prohibitively expensive, and the truth of the matter is we didn't have anything to put in there, and we had this incredible intern on the movie who is actually in the movie. He's the guy that Samson that Andy sees from the bench and says it's Adonis or Samson. I asked him, I said, can you give me a list of every French movie that you can find that ends badly? And this kid was unbelievable. And I'm reading down the synopses of the movie, and I remember hearing about La Parapluie de Cherbourg, but I had never actually seen the film, so we watched it. And if you know the ending of the movie, it is incredibly sad, and it's essentially about two people in love who can't be together. So it was sort of a happy accident that we ended up with, because we always knew we wanted them to go into a projection booth, because watching movies in college was a huge part of our experience. But that's how we ended up with that particular movie.
Got time for one last question here, right there.
Okay. Did you have an underlying Alice in Wonderland theme?
The question is if Alice in Wonderland was an underlying theme of the movie as well.
We were hoping James Lipton would ask us that question. Yeah, it was down the rabbit hole for sure. Yeah.
And we had this great prop too, that it was like it was a placard, welcoming the Alice in Wonderland manuscript. And I kept forgetting to put it in the shot. It was on this little stand, and I forgot, And finally, it's in there you're next to it, Vera, for about 2.5 seconds. There were twins in that library scene, but we cut it.
Wait, who's in that hat?
That would be Stephen Borello.
Yeah.
There we go.
Hats are sort of a theme. There are a lot of hats in this movie. I don't know why, but it just felt right.
Brilliant. It always breaks my heart. We've got another movie coming in, so we sadly need to end this. But
thank you all. You're a wonderful audience. Thank you.